Hello, good evening. So I'm going to show you today how to attach an extra volume in EC2 instance in AWS. And I'm going to explain it for both Linux as well as for Windows. So these are the steps for Linux. First, we will go to AWS console and create a new volume. Then we will attach that volume to an AWS EC2 instance that you have. Uh, and then we will execute few commands to uh, to attach that volume and format that volume in Linux. Okay, so let's go to EC2 instance. So here uh, we have two instances of uh, we have two instances. Those are running. I will just start those instances. One is for Windows and other is for Linux, Red Hat Linux, and both belongs to US East 1B. So we have to create uh, the volume in the same availability zone as these instances are. So first I will show you about Linux. We will go to volume and we will create a volume of maybe 10 GB. I'm keeping it as general purpose, and I will select this availability zone as US East 1B because our instances belongs to US East 1B, and I will say create volume. Just refresh, and you see here a new volume is available of 10 GB. I will just rename this to HEL extra volume. Okay, and right now this volume state is available but not in use. So we are going to attach this volume to our Red Hat server. So I will select Red Hat from here and I will say attach. So now this state has changed to in use. Now I will go to EC2 instance, Red Hat, and I will try to connect to this server using putty. I'm using my private key to connect to this instance. I will switch to root and I will execute the command ls block. Okay, so you see this svdf instance is available. I will say mkfs hyphen t ext4 and dev slash xvdf. So so this allocation has been done, and the next step is uh, making a directory and mounting the that directory into that file system. So I will create a directory, maybe say uh, AWS data, and I will mount that directory to dev xvdf data. So now you can see the volume is available and is 9.8 GB is the size, out of which 9.3 GB is available because AWS takes some volume. So we can go into this AWS folder now and we can create any file here using a command. Okay, now I'm going to show how it can be done for Windows. So for Windows, the same step, go to AWS console and create the volume, attach that volume to the Windows server that we have created, and connect to the RDC and perform few steps. So I'm going to show you those steps. So let me go to AWS console. Again, our, if you see, our Windows server also belongs to US East 1B. So we are going to create, uh, just let me refresh this. Okay, so these are running. uh, the Windows server also belongs to US East 1B. So I'm going to go to volumes, and I will say create volume. Again, I will just use general purpose, and I will select availability zone as 1B and say create volume. Say refresh. Yeah. So this volume has been created, and I will rename this as Windows extra vol, maybe, just to identify. Okay, and I'm going to attach, the next step is to attach this volume to the Windows server. So I will say attach volume and select Windows server from here and say attach. So once it is attached, the state changes to in use. I will open a remote desktop connection now. Before that, let me uh, copy the IP address, copy copied IP address. Username is EC2 hyphen, sorry, administrator, and the password will be, you need to go to connect RDP client and say get password. So using my private key, this password will get generated. I will say decrypt password, and I will say copy password. Okay, so if I go to this, if I open this PC, here only one C drive is available. So what I'm going to do is I will go to the server manager from here, and here it is refreshing right now, but here the file and storage system will appear. So let's wait for some time to get it refreshed. Yeah, so you can see here the file and storage services is appeared. You can go to disk, and you see the 10 GB, the volume that we have attached is offline. So we can right click on this and say bring online. Okay, so now the disk is online. Then we will say new volume, just click next, next. Okay, uh, that's okay. The drive later you can select, so I will select maybe I, or this will be a default NTFS system. And the volume, you can define your volume label. So I will say AWS data maybe, and say next, and say create. It is formatting that volume, and the volume will be available shortly. If you see, the volume has been created here with AWS data and label drive as I. So you can use this volume now to create any of your file. So that's all I have. We have created a new volume in AWS and attached to our Linux and AWS instances.